So we're going to test that theory. All right. So let's get this thing popping. So computer, turn on Netflix. Okay, what that did is the Alexa app turned on the Netflix on my TCL. So it is the TCL Netflix app. And this is what I'm using for my remote. So I am going to go to the Roku. That's for the TCL. So, all right, I'm back here. All right, sit back here a little bit. Okay, this is my son's login, so let's go back to mine. There we go. All right, so here we go. We're on the...
Something's happening. We can't stay here.
Go here. Up to search. We're going to search 4K. All right, 4K brings up, okay, Planet Earth 2, Blue Planet 2. So, yeah. Let's get a little bit closer so we can see the details. Okay, look at that, Planet Earth 2, Ultra HD 4K. Okay, cool. Looks good. I was watching a little bit of this the other day. Very detailed. Definitely in 4K. Blue Planet 2, BBC Earth. This is Bright. It's a fun movie. Here we have Bright is in, oh snap, it's in Dolby Vision. So it looks like my low-end TCL TV has access to Dolby Vision. Watch what happens when I hit OK on this, go into this movie. There it is. Boop. The Dolby Vision popped up on my TV. Ah, snap. Okay. So apparently my low-end TCL does have Dolby Vision. Well, we've solved that mystery. So pop out of that. So notice something here. Bright says Dolby Vision. It doesn't say 4K, but it's in 4K. This is the Roku app on my TCL TV, okay? So how it ends, Lost in Space, is in 4K Dolby Vision. Dolby Vision. All right. Now here's an interesting thing. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, when I go into a Dolby Vision, yeah, Dolby Vision popped up. I'm going to hit the settings on my TCL, all right, and see where it says picture mode, bright, and that has a little Dolby Vision signal. That tells me that the TV is detecting a HDR signal and that it is using the settings for HDR. The HDR and the SDR settings are different. I can set them individually. There are certain things that when it goes into HDR, the TV automatically sets the backlight to maximum. For SDR, I set the backlight of the TV down to 20, which is about 1/5 of what the backlight is. So that is that, right? I'm going to show you something a little bit interesting here. It doesn't say 4K. It just says Dolby Vision, right? So just lost in space. Let's back up here. Let's go back up to Planet Earth. Now, if you look at Planet Earth, when I click on that, it says Ultra HD 4K. Okay, it doesn't say Dolby Vision. It doesn't say HDR. It's not an HDR. This was not filmed in HDR. It just, or it wasn't converted to HDR or whatever they do in the filming process. It's just 4K. All right, it's not HDR. So if it has HDR, it'll say either HDR or Dolby Vision. It's assumed to be in 4K. If it doesn't have HDR, it will say Ultra HD 4K. Now, we've established all of this here. So let's go back. My Alexa over here. Computer, turn on PS4.
Okay.
All right. Put down my tablet. By the way, if you're not using a tablet as a remote, you need to. It's way better than any universal remote I've ever used. All right. So we got that. Let's get the PS4 on. My PS4 controller. PS4 just turned on. The light's turning on. TCL is switching the input. Okay. Go into my login. Hang on a second. I have to put a code for the login so the kids don't get on the PS4 whenever they want. They have to ask us. So trying to be responsible parents. Okay. Okay, going into the Netflix app here. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing. We're going to go over into search. I'm going to search 4K. I'm using the controller for this, and the tablet that I use as my remote is down there. $4K. Oh, what happened? The exact same shows pop up that popped up on my Roku. Okay. Now, when I click on Planet Earth, watch what happens. Planet Earth. Planet Earth 2. I click on it, it is in Ultra HD 4K. Look at that. On my PS4 Pro. Planet Earth 2. Ultra HD 4K. Okay, well, what about the ones that were Dolby Vision on the Roku? Let's back out of Planet Earth. Go down to Bright. We checked out Bright. It said it was in Dolby Vision, right? It was 4K Dolby Vision. It just said Dolby Vision. Pop this up. Oh. It says HDR, but it's in 4K. How do I know it's in 4K? How do I know it's not just HDR added to a 1080p signal? Well, you know, I'll show you something very interesting, okay? Let's go up to Planet Earth. Click on it, let it run. And I'm going to show you something pretty damn cool. Okay. You see this up here, the little stats? You can bring that up by hitting the select button right there. Okay, the options button. I call it select, but it's options now. Brings up the stats, tells you how much time is left in the program, what your time code is currently. It tells you what your bit rate is for the video. Right now I'm at 15.25 megabits per second, which is the highest it goes. I've seen it go so far, right, with my current internet setup. And look, it tells you what the resolution is. 2160. That is UHD, aka Home 4K. Now granted, Cinema 4K is a little different. 3840 by 2160 is the home version, which is technically UHD. 4096 by 2160 is Cinema 4K. Slightly different resolution, but movie screens are a slightly different shape than TVs. TVs are 16 by 9. Movie screens are a different shape. They're a little bit wider. Okay. Audio English original 5.1. That should be 5.1 Dolby Digital Plus, but I guess it just says 5.1. But the important thing here is the 15.25 megabits per second, 2160. That's 4K. All right. How do I know it's 4K? That's, well, 4K Ultra HD. Planet Earth Ultra HD 4K. Boom. If my system didn't get it, it wouldn't show up. All right, so let's go down to Bright. Bright has HDR. It's Ultra HD 4K plus HDR, but they save space. They just put HDR. It's assumed to be 4K. When I'm playing it, let's see what happens here. Oh, it's at 9.53, 11.44. It's going up, and it's 2160p. 2160p. All right. Look at that. Okay, now I'm going to show you something a little to confirm what I'm talking about here. Okay, I'm going to go back to the regular screen. Let's go down. Let's go down here. In the Badlands. Watch that. Love the hell out of that show. Okay. It's just HD. No HDR. No Ultra HD 4K. Okay. When I click on Into the Badlands, look what happens with the bit rate and the resolution. 6.81 megabits per second, 1080p. Doesn't go any higher, doesn't need to, because it's an HD encode. It's not a 4K UHD. It's not Dolby Vision, or, well, HDR10. PS4 Pro does not have Dolby Vision, it has HDR10. That's why the difference between my Roku, the Roku has Dolby Vision, the PS4 Pro does not. So the PS4 Pro is limited to HDR10. Roku does Dolby Vision. I don't see a whole lot of difference between them yet, but I think it's because this TV really won't show you a difference between the two. You get a really good TV, you might be able to see a difference. So look at that. It will not go any higher than 1080 because that is the resolution of this particular movie encode. If it was in 4K, it would, as the bit rate went up, I noticed that once the bit rate goes up to 7.5 megabits per second or more, then it switches from 1080 to 2160. But this one is limited to 1080 because that's the maximum the encode is. It's not any higher. So I just wanted to show you that, yes, the PS4 Pro absolutely is capable of 4K. It has it there. I did exactly what you asked, where